Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Mind of Sanity. I am your host, Richard the Incredible, and today I am beaming with excitement to introduce Jane Austen. How are you today, Jane?
Thank you for the warm introduction. I am delighted to be here. How do you fare?
Not too bad, actually. A little tired, but I'm excited to be here with a literary icon such as yourself.
To be regarded as a literary icon is a humbling honor, and I truly am grateful for the opportunity to partake in this engaging dialogue with you.
Would you like a drink before we started?
The notion of partaking in a refreshing beverage such as beer certainly holds a certain appeal.
Wait, what? You like beer? Not gonna lie, fully expect you to say something like, partake in the pleasure of a refreshing cup of tea.
I dare say that I have even dabbled in the art of brewing beer myself. I find it to be a captivating pursuit that allowed me to explore the alchemy of flavors and the intricacies, of fermentation.
Time out, time out. You brew your own beer?
Indeed, it is a truth universally acknowledged that brewing beer was not an uncommon endeavor for women in my era. In those times, beer held a place of utmost importance, being deemed safer to consume than water, which was often fraught with perils. It was regarded as a daily necessity, much akin to sustenance itself, and thus it fell within the purview of women to provide this vital libation. Just as the responsibility of nourishing one's family with food was entrusted to women, the task of brewing beer was seen as an integral part of their domestic duties. It was a skill passed down from one generation to the next as mothers taught their daughters the art of brewing.
That's so fucking cool. I didn't know any of that.
The art of brewing alcohol, as ancient as the annals of human history, has long been intertwined with the capable hands and discerning minds of women. From the very dawn of civilization, when the first whispers of fermenting drifted through the air, women have played an integral role in this hallowed craft. In the gatherers of grains, fruits, and herbs, it was the women who discovered the transformative power of fermentation, giving rise to the elixirs that would encapture the senses and kindle the flames of conviviality.
It's kind of incredible. Do you have like a favorite?
I must admit that spruce beer holds a special place in my heart. Its distinctive flavor, derived from the essence of spruce trees, imbues the ale with a refreshing zest that enlivens the palate and lends a touch of woodland enchantment to each sip.
Yeah, all I have is cider. It's one of my favorites, actually from a local company called Two Town Cider House. The flavor is called the Bad Apple. Would that be okay?
Indeed, that sounds most delightful.
All right, perfect. Let me go get that. All right, here we are.
Oh, thank you. Oh, how intriguing. This is most excellent.
Glad you like it. Could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself for those who haven't heard of you or don't know much about you because they've been living under a rock for like ever?
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jane Austen, a novelist hailing from the early 19th century, born on December 16th, 1775, in Stephenson, Hampshire, England. I became known for my literary works that have stood the test of time. My novels, including Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, and Persuasion, have garnered admiration for their keen observations of society and the complexities of human relationships. Through my writing, I have sought to illuminate the realities of the Regency era, particularly focusing on the lives of the English gentry. I explored themes such as love, marriage, social class, and the limitations faced by women in a patriarchal society. With a sharp wit and a discerning eye for social nuances, I endeavored to provide a nuanced portrayal of characters grappling with societal expectations and personal desires. While my works are not widely known during my time, they have since gained immense popularity and continue to resonate with readers around the world. My novels have been celebrated for their engaging plots, memorable characters, and the timeless truths they convey about human nature.
How'd you get into writing?
I must confess that my path to becoming a writer was intertwined with my deep love of literature and storytelling. From an early age, I found solace in and inspiration within the pages of books, immersing myself in the works of renowned authors. In the cozy corners of my family's parlor, I would eagerly devour novels and engage in lively discussions with my siblings. These early literary pursuits sparked within me a desire to craft stories of my own, to give life to characters and narratives that would captivate readers. As a young woman, I honed my writing skills through personal dedication and perseverance. I devoted countless hours to refining my craft, crafting tales that reflected the realities and nuances of the world around me. The encouragements and support of my family and close friends provided me with the necessary confidence to pursue my passions further.
All right. What was your education like?
Well, in my early years, as a member of a clergyman's family, my formal education began at home. Under the guidance of my father, Reverend George Austen, and my mother, Cassandra, I received a comprehensive education that was quite rare for girls at the time. My father, recognizing the value of education, ensured that his daughters were well educated alongside their brothers. I was fortunate to have access to my father's extensive library, which allowed me to explore a wide range of literature and delve into various subjects. I devoured the works of renowned authors, philosophers, and historians, nurturing my love for literature and expanding my intellectual horizons. In addition to my father's guidance, I also had the privilege of attending schools in Southampton and reading. These educational institutions provided me with more structured learning and environment.
All right. Well, what was the first thing you wrote?
Among my early works, I explored various genres such as short stories, plays, poems. I delighted in crafting narratives that entertained my family and close friends, often infusing them with humor and satire and a touch of whimsy. I compiled a collection of my early works, preserving them within three precious, bound notebooks, which I effectively named Volume the First, Volume the Second, and Volume the Third. These treasured notebooks are known as the Juvenilia, and they hold within their pages a testament to the exuberance and creativity of my youthful spirit. Within those delicate bindings, my pen danced across the pages, bringing forth a total of 29 early works that now exist as a testament to my early literary endeavors. These notebooks contain approximately 90,000 words, a testament to the dedication and fervor with which I poured my thoughts and imagination into with written word. One notable example is a novella titled Love and Friendship, which parodied the sentimental and melodramatic novels that were popular during that time. Through this work, I playfully subverted the conventions of romantic storytelling, offering a humorous take on love and its many misadventures. Additionally, I wrote The History of England, a satirical chronicle of British monarchs. In this irreverent piece, I employed wit and clever observation to depict historical figures in a comical light, infusing the narrative with humorous commentary and entertaining anecdotes.
Those sound really fun, actually. But since you didn't get those published, what was the first thing you actually got published then?
I suppose the first thing that was published was Sense and Sensibility. Yes, that was the first novel I released to the world, originally published in 1811. The novel revolves around the lives of two contrasting sisters, Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood, who navigate the complexities of love, societal expectations, and personal resilience. When it comes to publishing, I made the decision to do so anonymously. During the time of its publication, it was not common for women of to openly write and publish novels, as the literary world was predominantly dominated by men. Anonymity allowed me to shield my identity, ensuring that the novel would be judged on its own merits rather than preconceptions about a female author. It was not an uncommon practice for female authors during that time. Many talented women felt compelled to conceal their identities to overcome the societal biases and prejudices that prevailed in the literary world. And please understand, women of the gentry were not intended for professional pursuits, but rather destined to seek advantageous marriages as a means of securing their financial stability.
How many novels did you write anonymously then?
Throughout the course of my lifetime, none of my novels bore the mark of my own name. The first edition of Sense and Sensibility was attributed simply to By the Lady, while Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, and Emma were published as works by the author of Sense and Sensibility, by the author of Pride and Prejudice, by the author of Emma, respectively.
Those sound like quite mouthfuls. But speaking of, I'm curious who were some of your favorite authors?
As a lover of literature, I have found inspiration and enjoyment in the works of various authors. Some of my favorite authors include Samuel Richardson, whose novels captivate the heart and mind with their emotional depth and moral dilemmas. I also hold great admiration for the works of Fanny Burney, whose keen observations of society and witty storytelling have brought me much delight. Additionally, I appreciate the talents of Henry Fielding, whose satirical novels skillfully blend humor and social commentary. The works of Anne Radcliffe, with their suspenseful plots and gothic atmospheres, have intrigued and thrilled me. Lastly, I must mention the brilliant playwright William Shakespeare, whose plays continue to enchant readers and audiences alike with their timeless themes and masterful language. Thomas Clarkson was a man whom I greatly admired and held a deep affection for. His tireless efforts in the fight against the abhorrent institution of slavery resonated deeply within me. His dedication to the pursuit of equality and his unwavering belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every human being left an indelible mark on my soul. These authors have contributed significantly to the literary landscape, and their works have left a lasting impression on me as a writer and a reader.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to look into those as I don't think I've heard of most of them. But thank you for satisfying my curiosity. Were the major themes of your books?
Love and marriage, that cherished dance of the heart, stood as a cornerstone in my storytelling. I ventured to unravel the complexities of romantic relationships, exploring the tides of affection and the delicate balance between societal expectations and matters of the heart. Within the confines of a stratified society, I scrutinized the influence of social class and society. The rigid hierarchies of the Regency era cast shadows upon the lives of individuals, exposing the prejudices and judgments that accompanied one's place in the grand tapestry of society. An ever present theme that guided my quill was the exploration of gender roles and women's agency. With delicacy and fortitude, I sought to depict the challenges faced by women restrained by the confines of societal expectations. Through my heroines, I celebrated their intellect, wit, and resilience, illuminating their journey through self determination and personal fulfillment. In crafting my tales, satire and irony served as my trusted companions. With a twinkle in my eye, I cast a discerning gaze upon the foibles of society, employing the subtle art of satire to expose its flaws and follies. Irony, that mischievous partner, danced hand in hand with my characters, adding depth and nuance to their experiences.
How exactly did you challenge gender roles in the 19th century?
I would say one of the ways that I challenged gender roles was by creating female characters who defied societal conventions. I portrayed women who were intelligent, witty, perceptive. I highlighted their intellectual capabilities and showcasing their potential for personal growth and self-realization. Through their thoughts and words and actions, I emphasized that women were not merely passive objects for desire, but active participants in their own lives. I also explored the constraints imposed by the institution of marriage, which often reduced women to objects to be pursued for their dowries and societal status. In my novels, I presented female characters who resisted the pressure to conform to societal expectations and who sought love and companionship based on mutual respect and shared values. I highlighted the importance of emotional compatibility and personal fulfillment in relationships, challenging the notion that women should prioritize financial security above all else.
That isn't much of an issue in modern society because, yeah, we kind of grew out of it. What do you think you'd write a book about now if you lived in the modern era?
In my era, the notion of gender pay gaps would have been inconceivable. For women of the gentry were not even considered participants in the economic realm. Our roles were firmly defined within the domestic sphere, and financial matters were often left to the gentlemen of the family. However, it is disheartening to learn that despite the strides made in women's rights and the acknowledgement of gender equality, disparities in pay and opportunities persist. Women who possess equal talent, skill, and dedication still find themselves receiving remuneration that is inferior to their male counterparts. This inequality of compensation is both dispiriting and unjust. I believe that to be something I'd like to explore.
How so?
Let's take the United States as an example. Illuminated by the findings of the Pew Research Center and the Bureau for Labor Statistics, um, such figures indicate that women continue to earn significantly less than their male counterparts. According to the analysis, in the year 2022, women earned an average of 82% of what men earned, equating to approximately 82 cents for every dollar earned by men. This disparity in compensation is a grave injustice that affects countless women and undermines the principles of fairness and equality. However, the issue at hand extends beyond mere gender and sex. The gender pay gap is a complex matter intertwined with other factors such as race, ethnicity, disability, access to education, age. It is disheartening to realize that different groups of women experience varying degrees of wage gaps, highlighting the intersecting layers of discrimination and inequality faced by women. Yet, there is some glimmer of hope amidst these disheartening statistics. The gender gap appears to have narrowed for young women as they strive to increase their educational attainment and break into occupations that are traditionally dominated by men. Such progress signifies the transformative power of education and importance of dismantling gender stereotypes in the workforce.
I've heard a lot of ideas on how to solve this, like encouraging women to enter high-paying fields and industries, providing equal pay for equal work, offering paid parental leave, providing flexible work arrangements, and increasing transparency around pay and promotion decisions.
Such notions are undoubtedly commendable, though I must confess that their realization proves to be a far more arduous task than mere words might suggest.
What do you mean?
Allow me to address these notions individually, as they warrant our thoughtful consideration. Firstly, the proposition of encouraging women to enter higher paying fields and industries is indeed commendable. However, we must not overlook the inherent challenges that lie in dismantling the deeply ingrained aspects of the patriarchy that hinder their progress. Women who dare to pursue degrees in traditionally male dominated industries often find themselves subjected to elevated levels of harassment and adversity. It pains my heart to acknowledge the multitude of challenges that women face in our society. We find ourselves confronted with elevated levels of sexual harassment, burdened with disproportionate responsibilities for childcare, unfairly stigmatized for exhibiting assertiveness, and subjected to the pressure of representing all women. Moreover, we encounter age discrimination, bear the weight of being the lone woman amidst a sea of men, and often find ourselves marginalized and excluded from important conversations. To add further to add further injustice, we are often too judged by our typical tasks that limit our potential. These burdens are compounded by the intersectional discrimination that women of different backgrounds and identities experience. Indeed, it is a lamentable truth that working under such circumstances is very deplorable. Who, in their right mind, would willingly subject themselves to such distressing conditions? It is a testament to the resilience and determination of women that, despite these obstacles, many continue to strive for excellence in their chosen fields. However, it is incumbent upon society to dismantle the structures that perpetuate harassment and create environments that foster respect, dignity, and equal opportunity for all.
I agree. But I am very interested to hear what you have to say about the latter things I mentioned, as they aren't solely a patriarchy issue. And they are a patriarchy issue, but like not solely that.
Indeed. Pray, remind me of the additional challenges you mentioned once more?
Providing equal pay for equal work, offering paid parental leave, providing flexible work arrangements, and increasing transparency around pay and promotion decisions.
Verily, I am of the opinion that the matter at hand is not as complex as one might imagine. In recent days, as I eagerly awaited our esteemed interview, I indulged in the consumption of some modern tales. Among them, I discovered a most delightful film, along with its sequel, entitled Enola Holmes.
Great movie. My partners and I absolutely love them.
Well, let us delve into the realm of the second film, the true account, if you will. I am mostly eager to discuss the notable Match Girl strike of 1888 and the enduring legacy of esteemed labor activists Clara Haber and Sarah Chapman.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Allow me to recount the tale of the Match Girls, for it showcases the indomitable spirit and collective strength of these courageous young women. In the late 19th century, the matchmaking industry thrived, providing a source of employment for numerous working class individuals, particularly young girls. However, the conditions within the match factories were far from ideal. The young workers, known as match girls, toiled under harsh circumstances, enduring long hours, meager wages, and hazardous working conditions. But the match girls were not content to silently suffer the injustices imposed upon them. Led by the bold and determined Clara Haber, a group of these brave young women banded together to demand fair treatment and improved working conditions. Their demands included higher wages, the elimination of the practice of deducting fines from their pay for trivial reasons, and an end to the use of harmful substances in the production of matches. In July 1888, the Match Girls took the courageous step of going on strike, their collective voices resounding with a call of justice. Their protest garnered widespread attention and support, capturing the public's sympathy and leading to a heightened awareness of the exploitative practices prevalent in the industry. Through their unwavering determination and solidarity, the Match Girls succeeded in achieving significant victories. Their strikes compelled the manufacturers to listen to their grievances and implement changes that improve the working conditions for not only themselves but also future generations of workers. This pivotal event in labor history highlighted the power of collective action and demonstrated that even the most vulnerable members of society could effect change when they united in pursuit of a just cause. The Match Girl strike of 1888 left an enduring legacy, inspiring future generations of workers to stand up for their rights and fight against exploitation and injustice.
But doesn't the movie go over this?
The cinematic representation of these events does indeed capture many aspects, yet it regrettably overlooks a crucial element: the significance of unions. It is imperative to recognize that the Match Girl strike was made possible through the formation of an all female workers' union. While the film espouses the empowering notion of girl power, it missed an opportunity to highlight the potential expediency of unions in advancing the cause of women's rights. Now, do not misunderstand me, dear Richard, for I wholeheartedly support the promotion of girl power. However, let us momentarily imagine the accelerated progress towards achieving equal pay, paid parental leave, flexible working arrangements, and enhanced transparency if the film had instead emphasized the efficacy of unions. Consider, if you will, the statistics shared by the US Department of Labor blog, revealing that women constitute a formidable 46.8% of the labor force in the United States. This substantial representation grants women an immense collective strength, a potential force to be reckoned with. Therefore, one cannot help but ponder the potential transformative impact that the promotion and support of unions could bring forth. By harnessing the collective power of women within the labor force, united under the banner of unions, we may expedite the realization of much needed reforms.
I doubt it would be all women either, because I would 100% join that fight for sure.
Exactly. The involvement of unions in the struggle for gender equality and workers' rights have been historically significant. They have played an instrumental role in advocating for fair wages, improved working conditions, and greater representation. Embracing this avenue of change would undoubtedly propel us towards a society characterized by greater equality and injustice.
Are there any other issues that grind your gears?
But of course, I believe it is incumbent upon us to address yet another pressing matter that merits our earnest consideration: the lamentable disparity in the treatment women frequently encounter within the realm of healthcare.
Oh snap, we're gonna make so many people angry with this. Talking about gender equality, unions, and now healthcare. I give you the floor, Miss Austen.
It, pray, have you heard the book Doing Harm by Maya Dusenberry?
Vaguely. I think I've heard of it, but not much beyond that.
While I must confess that Doing Harm uh, by Dusenberry falls beyond the realm of my personal experience, I am intrigued by the subject matter it addresses. The book seems to shed light on the pervasive gender biases that have long plagued the medical profession, particularly concerning women's health. Such an exploration holds great significance, such as it exposes the systemic shortcomings and dismissals that women have faced in their quests for proper medical care. One notable aspect she explores is this disparity in pain perception and management. The book brings to light how women's pain have often been downplayed or dismissed, leading to delayed diagnoses and inadequate treatment. Dusenberry's research and analysis shed much needed light on the complex factors that contribute to the systemic issue, challenging society to reevaluate long held assumptions and biases surrounding women's pain and experiences. One such crucial topic addressed in the book is the underdiagnosis and misdiagnosis of women's health conditions. For example, one distressing phenomenon she discusses is the disproportionate labeling of women of color as drug abusers, which can have serious consequences for their medical treatment and overall well being. It can result in undertreatment or neglect of legitimate health concerns, as well as the denial of pain medication and necessary support.
This is awful. So, what you're getting at is then is the more women doctors, the less like this will happen.
Alas, the findings of studies reveal disheartening realities where doctors, regardless of their gender, tend to provide inadequate treatment to female patients. They exhibit a tendency to delay the administration of medication to women, leaving their pain unaddressed and their symptoms disregarded. It is a lamentable truth that women often face difficulties in obtaining accurate diagnoses that and effective treatments as their conditions and their intricacies of their bodies receive lesser attention in clinical trials and medical research. However, there remains a glimmer of hope amidst these somber revelations. Women doctors, in their noble pursuit of healing, display lesser biases against their fellow women compared to their male counterparts. As we aspire for progress and equality, it is my ardent wish that we witness the rise of women, not only as scientists and doctors, but also in positions of influence and authority. With their increased presence and perspectives, we may glean valuable insights into multifaceted issues that affect women from diverse backgrounds and ethnicities, fostering a brighter future for healthcare and its treatment of women's unique challenges.
Beautifully said, I will admit, but all of this just seems a little rage inducing.
Have you been made aware that my dear father, George Austen, held the esteemed role of a trustee in the Antigua sugar plantation? It was a place where, alas, souls were torn from their African homelands, toiled relentlessly in the fields as enslaved laborers. This revelation, though it bears a weight upon my heart, unveils a connection that intertwines my own family with a system steeped in the oppression and suffering of our fellow human beings.
I I did not know that.
It is true. However, in the corridors of the Austen household, where lively debates and intellectual discourse flourished, a remarkable transformation took place. As we grew into our own convictions, we began to challenge the deep-rooted systemic systematic issues that perpetrated such injustice. My dear older brothers, Francis and Henry, emerged as staunch advocates for the cause of abolition, their convictions unwavering and their voices resolute. Henry, in particular, went beyond mere rhetoric, publicly lending his support to a political commitment that aimed to abolish slavery, not only within our own shores, but across the entire globe. Their unwavering stance served as an inspiration to us all, igniting a flame of passion within our hearts and propelling us forward on a path of unwavering dedication to the abolitionist cause.
That's that's really awesome.
I too find it quite awesome. However, my dear, the crux of my argument lies in the recognition that the initial step towards resolving any predicament is acknowledging its existence. In the days of yore, the cause that stirred both men and women alike was the abhorrent institution of slavery, a grievous injustice that roused the deepest ire within our hearts. Yet, let us not dismiss the contemporary struggles as insignificant, for though they may appear less daunting in comparison, they remain ensnared within the web of systematic issues. Injustices abound in these modern times, and when they fall upon attentive ears, they ought to evoke a righteous anger, igniting within us a fervent flame of passion. It is this fervor, this unwavering determination, which shall serve as the catalyst for change, a change that shall not rest until every systematic injustice is dismantled and co-signed to the annals of history.
Yeah. With that, I think we're unfortunately going to have to call this an end. Any last words, Jane?
May we continue to challenge the constraints of societal norms, champion the rights of all individuals, and kindle the flames of compassion and justice in our hearts. Farewell for now, and may our paths cross again in the realms of words and ideas.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week, so smash the follow button and tell all your friends. Fefen, sign us off.